Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Lithium, and today what I have for you is a domination on flag tile gameplay. I do drop around 76 kills with the PPSH in this gameplay, so if you guys do enjoy that. Anyways, the topic for today is competitive tips and team formation. So basically, I'm just going to give you guys some advice on creating or forming your own team based on my past experiences, what I think works and what doesn't work, and also just some competitive tips to hopefully make you a better player, improve your competitive gameplay, and even just help out your team if you are in a team already. You need some advice. So yeah, let's start off with team formation. So I'm going to talk about 3 or 4 points that I think are very important when creating your own team. In no particular order, I'm just going to start with the first one, which is you need to find 4 players that you can team with that gets along well. You can't put players that don't get along well, don't like each other in teams, because that often won't work out too well. You need to find people that get along well with each other and are willing to work with each other to achieve a certain goal. But at the same time, you also need to find players that have the same vision. So say you are a new team starting out, or say you're a captain of a team now, okay? You don't have any players in your team and you want to create a team. I would say that you should try to find players, maybe on the same skill level as you that are on some teams already. But at the same time, you need to find players with the same vision as you, so they need to have the same goal in mind as you. So say you now are that captain, you want to create a team, you want to become one of the best teams in SA, for example. You need to find other players with the same goal in mind and they also want to achieve that. It's honestly pointless if you team with people that don't have the same goal in mind as you or don't want to get to where you want to. It's just going to hold the team back, and it will often lead to fights and arguments and reasons to why teams disband. So try to find people with the same goal in mind as you and that are also willing to work as hard as you to get there. Especially if you're starting out, if you're not playing, you're not investing time into the game, especially competitive as a player and as a team, then you're not really going to go as far as you can. So yeah, take that into consideration, and you must also try to find teammates that are open to learning. A lot of people, are quite stubborn. Maybe you guys are playing a scrum. Now you have your players, you're playing a scrum, and you can see something isn't working, and you tell the players, this isn't working, blah blah blah. Some people just get angry or they get offended if you tell them what they're doing isn't right. You need to find players that are open to learning. That can take constructive criticism. And if there are problems in the team, all the players need to be able to, just talk it out. If there's mistakes that are happening, you need to find out what they are, what the roots of them are, and you need to sort them out. And you need to turn your weaknesses into strong points, which leads me to the point that I see so many teams team for a week and they break up the whole time. If you team for a week or you just always leave a team, it's just a cycle that goes on, because any newly created team is always going to have its strengths and its weaknesses. So if you keep running away from them instead of fixing them, it's just going to come back. That's why most people that leave teams and rejoin teams do it so often, because it's a cycle that just keeps occurring. Obviously, if you create a team, there's going to be times that you don't achieve the results you want to, or you guys say you scrum, things don't go as expected or as well as you thought they would. You need to just work it through as a team. If there's things that aren't working out, fix them and get better at them, because the more you work at them, the better it's going to get. It's not going to get worse. As long as the players are open to learning and they're all willing to, work through it and sort it out, there's no reason why it's not going to get better. So I definitely say keep that in mind as well. And also, if you're looking to form a team, find players that are suited in their particular roles. I know there's lots of good players out there, but for example, it's pointless finding 4 slayers or anchors and putting them in one team, when obviously now you're in a team, you're going to need OBJ players, forward players. If they're not suited to play those roles, it's not that great to put them, say now you have your 3 slayers, now you say to one of them, okay, well, you're going to have to play OBJ. It's not one of the roles that they are best suited at. If they are a good slayer, they're a good slayer. So rather try find, get a balance. So you found a good anchor that's already gonna. You found a slayer. You found a good OBJ player. You need to find people that are best suited in their roles that they're comfortable with, instead of picking up players and then just making them play roles that they don't want to, because obviously they won't be as comfortable in them. Because people also have People also might say that, you know, okay, well, they'll play OBJ even though they're an anchor or whatever, but their playstyle is suited best to what they do best. So if an anchor is an anchor and he plays well being an anchor and he's a slow type of player, to make him play OBJ wouldn't make sense, because you need an OBJ player that would play fast, you know, with a sub aggressive. Like, it's just not in that person's playstyle to do that, so you probably wouldn't feel comfortable. So definitely just think about who you pick up with regards to the roles as well. Then now let's speak about the competitive tips. Basically what I just told you about the team formation, to me, is the most important thing when creating a team and getting better as a team, so definitely take those tips into consideration. Now let's talk about competitive tips. The first thing I want to speak about is equipment. If you don't already, I would suggest you guys, if you are looking to take your competitive gaming seriously, you're going to need to be playing on a competitive setup. So obviously you would need, for console gaming, I'd recommend a 24-inch monitor, 1 to 2 milliseconds response time. Quite a few monitors out there are expensive, but I've had a few Dell monitors in the past, and for the price of a Dell monitor and what it gives you, it's probably the best you could get. So I definitely recommend you get a Dell monitor if you're starting out and you don't have a monitor already. Next up, I would say let's talk about the controller. So if you people have different playstyles, so if you play claw, I'd say, you know, just stick to whichever controller you're using, because you play claw, you probably don't need the paddle, so just using like a normal PS4 controller, don't change. But if you know, are looking to better your gameplay and you play like default or tactical like myself, you know, I'd say that you should probably look into getting a scuff. I know there's a few alternatives to a scuff, but they're really not as good as the scuff is, especially like the Razer. You know, the Razer is good and it feels strong, it's just that, like, for example, it has input lag, which, like, if you're in the middle of a gunfight and you feel it, it's going to throw you off completely. So that's one reason that took me off that. But I would definitely say save up your money and buy a scuff if you can. And if you're going to ask me what scuff you should get, I would say, if you're looking to get a, let me put it this way, if your hands are big or you like the design and shape of an Xbox controller, go with the Impact 100%, because it does feel bigger and bulkier. But if you are looking to, if your hands are like small or medium sized, definitely go with the 4PS Pro, especially if you like the design of the PS4 controller. But yeah, stick to those two, I'd say. Next up would be headset. So I know quite a few people just go on that you need Astros, or Astros are the best. I agree with this to a certain extent. I feel like the mix amp for the Astros is the main reason why they're so good. There are definitely better headsets, like the top piece that you put on your head, that you can get, and you know, you can just make your own combo up. I'd definitely say, if you can, get an Astro mix amp and then, you know, combo it or pair it up with any headset you find comfortable or really good, you know, it could be a HyperX, Turtle Beach or whatever. But I definitely say you should go for the Astro mix amp. I would also put Turtle Beach in there, but Turtle Beach isn't as easy to get the mix amps in South Africa, and Astro would definitely be the best pick if you are in South Africa. Another thing we can talk about now, besides the equipment, is 8s. I know a lot of people play 8s, and I really don't believe that 8s is the best thing you can play to improve your comp gameplay, because a lot of the times people just play 8s for stats and they don't really do objective, and it's just like, if you go play 8s and then you go scrim, you'll feel completely different. It's a different play style and it's not the right play style. So if I was you, I'd stick away from 8s, and I'd rather start playing Captain 8, which is basically sort of close to a scrim. You basically just get 8 people together in a party, choose 2 captains, and then you form a team, you mute each other, and then you play a best of 5 series. And people actually play for the win, you know, people need to OBJ, they need to slay, they need to anchor, etc. So you actually learn from that and you get better from that. You know, if you're gonna play anything, I'd say you should play 8s, pick up scrims or scrims if you're already in a team or have a team. When it comes to pubs, you know, obviously you can play pubs and you can grind pubs, but you must spend more of your time invested into competitive pubs and stuff. You know, if you're gonna use pubs to become better, you're gonna just have to be a tryhard. You know, play with whatever gun you do and comp whichever class you do, the same attachments, and, you know, just work on your shots, get used to how the gun feels, like close range, long range, you know, get better gun skill that way. But as a team, and also for your competitive gameplay, if you're not playing, watch pro streams, you know, look how they play, you know, try to understand why they do certain things they do, you know, position themselves in certain ways and do what they do. You'll learn a lot from watching the pros, and they are pros, so what they're doing obviously is working, you know, it's one of the best ways you can play. And you can also maybe implement some of their styles into your team, and by watching them subconsciously you'll also, you know, you'll pick up on some of the things they do and you'll implement in your gameplay if you watch a lot. So yeah, definitely look into that as well. And yeah, basically that's about it for my tips. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope it does help. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hope you do enjoy the rest of the gameplay.